Okay, hi guys. Am I live? I think I'm live. Okay. Uh, okay, yeah. So let's begin this. Uh, right, okay. Just a second. All right, so now we have to see how to do this virtual participation thing because right now I'm not seeing the virtual participation button. Hello, Sanket. Mm, okay, okay. So I'm not really seeing the virtual participation button right now, so I think we're gonna have to wait for that a little bit. Uh, right. Hello, Saurav. Right. So, yeah, okay. So I see the virtual participation button now. I think I should start it at around 2208. Okay. So let me turn back to the main screen. Okay. So, uh, yeah, you can see a lot of people in the chat right now. Hi, everyone, whoever is saying hi to me. And yeah, so I've started this virtual participation. So it will get started in around, I think, 50 seconds or something. Okay. I- Is the sound bad or something? I have a feeling that this will last pretty long. Not audible? Wait a second. Hello? Am I audible? Wait a second. How do I do this? Okay. Uh, am I audible? Okay. 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 Because I thought if I'm not audible and then, that's what that was the joke. Okay, so I asked if I'm audible and somebody said no, right? So so like that's funny because if I'm not audible, then how did that person listen to my question? Okay, so we're at problem A right now. I was seeing in my live chat that some people were saying A was pretty difficult and some people weren't able to do it. So let's see what this is. It looks a little complex, but anyway. Okay, so polycarp calls an array defense if the greater. Okay, okay, fine. This means that like if you have two adjacent elements, so one of them shouldn't be greater than twice of the other. Okay, I think in this it is fine. Here it is wrong because like this element is the double. Sorry, this element is this 4 is more than twice 1 and so on. That was a great contest. I'm glad. Let's see how well I can do here. Polycarp. Okay, so polycarp is actually that thing, right? Yeah. So polycarp is actually a common name in I think in some country it's a common name. That's why they use it a lot in Codeforces. But I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure Vasya is a common name in Russia or something like that. But anyway, so you are given an array, and what is the minimum number of numbers you need to add to make it defense? You can insert numbers anywhere in the array, and if the array is already defense, no numbers need to be added. Okay, so what I think here is we will have a problem only if like here you can see this element is more than twice of this element. I think what we need to do is we need to put a few elements in between to fill the space in such a way that like everything is satisfied. So I think we can start from the smaller element and keep on putting the double of that. Like adjacent to 2 we can put a 4, then we can put a 8, right? And here we can put 2 4 8. So I think here the answer is 2 and here is 3. So I think total answer should be 5, right? Yeah, so output is actually 5. Okay, I think that's what we need to do. So we'll take all the adjacent elements and we'll take the smaller element and we'll see how many elements we have to put in between so that we can do this. Okay. Uh, a lot of people are arguing about the dark or the light mode, right? But there's an important thing I want to say. So wait a second. Just a second. Okay. So what happened was yesterday's stream ended a little abruptly. So during that, some person actually sent us a super chat, and I wasn't able to acknowledge that. So I'm gonna do that now. Okay. Right. So Saksham Agarwal had sent us a super chat, and that's the first super chat on this channel. So I wanted to acknowledge that, but the stream ended abruptly. So Saksham, if you're watching this, thanks a lot. Okay, let's get back to this. Okay, now, right. So we have test cases. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now I think we just need to take all two adjacent elements such that right. So we need to take I and I minus 1, right? So we can say big equal to the max of both the elements and small equals the minimum of both the elements. Okay, right. Now we just have to see how many times we can put the double of small between big. Okay, so we can say something like count. Okay, count equals 0, right? So while big is greater than 2 times small, okay. So if big is greater than 2 times small, what we will do is we will put 2 into small in the gap, and then I think that's it, right? So we'll put 2 into small in the gap. So we put an extra element there, right? And we'll make small equal to 2 into small. And in the end, we just have to print the total count. Okay, so this count, I should move it somewhere here, right? And I think that's all we have to do here. This should be correct. Okay, so it did run on the first test case. Okay, sorry. Yeah. So let's run it on all the test cases and see if it's correct. It's still in queue. Okay, so it got accepted. Yeah, so that's what we had to do here. Let me explain it a little bit. Okay, so this was problem A. And in problem A, what we had to do was, let's say if we have two elements, something like this. So if you have x here and you have y here. So if y is greater than x, and let's say if y is greater than 2 times x, so what we will do is between these two elements, we will put 2x, and then we will check between these two elements if we can put another element or not, or something like this. So that's what we had to do for problem A, right? And we have solved problem A. Let me see the chat. Okay, so somebody is saying we can do something with log of big by 2 small plus 1. Yeah, that might be right. Did you get accepted with that? Okay, so a lot of discussion about dark and light mode. How did you set up dark mode? Okay, so I have this extension called dark reader. I guess you guys can see this. Yeah, so you can get it for Chrome from the Chrome Web Store or something. Okay, so let me put problem B ongoing, right? So I'm talking about problem B right now. Let me pin this actually. Yeah. Okay. Balanced remainders. Fine. So you're given a number n divisible by 3. Okay. Como, you can rewind and see. I think I explained how much. I think I explained like how good I can explain. I explained it already. Anyway. So formally you are given a number n divisible by 3, and wait a second. In one move we can increase any of the array elements by 1. Fine. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Let's denote these numbers, the number of numbers from array A that have remainders. Okay. Okay, so we want to get all of these equal, and that is possible because n is divisible by 3. Yeah, so that is possible. For example, if this thing is there, then we can do something. Okay. We want the minimum number of moves needed to make the array A balanced, have balanced remainders. Okay. So it's something like we have three numbers, C1, C2, and C3. Okay. In one move, what we can do is we can subtract something from this. Actually, wait a second. Yeah. So we have C0, C1, and C2. And in one move, we can subtract a number from this and add it to this, right? So this could be one move, this could be one move, or this could be one move. Yeah. And we have to get all the elements equal. I think it's best to start with the biggest element, right? So let's say the element, like let's say n equals 15, right? So all three of these should be 5, but let's say this one is 8, right? So it is necessary to transfer 3 from here till here, right? So we will transfer 3 here, and then we will see what is the new value of this. So the new value of this could be, I don't know, maybe it could be, let's say earlier it was 4, so now it will become 7. And that means we will have to push 2 here, right? So I think that will always give us the best solution. Let's try to implement this. Okay. If that's correct, it will run on the sample. So let's try to do this thing and see if that's correct. Okay. Right. Wait a minute. We actually have the array of integers. So what we can do is we can just calculate C0, C1, and C2, and we don't need to store the array. Okay. So let's say I have C1, C0, and C2. Okay. All are 0 in the beginning. And we can do something like take a variable like this. Okay. And Cx mod 3 plus plus. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Now, so that's all we want to do. Whenever an element is bigger than n by 3, we transfer some of its value to the next element, right? So that's what we have to do. So it's something like we can run a loop from 0 till 3, and let's say if your Ci is greater than n by 3, right, then what you want to do is you want to shift some of its value to the next element. Okay, so let's say the difference is equal to Ci minus n by 3. Okay, and you want to put it in the next element, so we can do P of I plus 1 mod 3. So this is the next element in the cyclic order, and there we can add the difference. Okay, and let's say we have to print the total number of moves. So let's say the moves are 0, and moves will also decrease this way. Okay, yeah, so that's what we want to do. It might take multiple rounds, so let's do something like let's keep doing it till all three become equal. Okay, right. We will stop when all three are equal to n by 3, right? Okay, right. So if Ci is not equal to n by 3, that means we don't have to stop here. I'll say stop equals 0, right? And if they are all equal to n by 3, that means we have to stop here. So if stop is true, that means I'll stop here and write break. Okay, yeah. So I think that was fine. There could have been an easier way to do this, but yeah, that's what I could think of right now. Okay. Is this an infinite loop? Wait a second. What? What? Wait a second. Okay, so maybe, so are they never becoming equal to n by 3? Oh, sorry, yeah, sorry. I forgot this part. So ci minus equals diff, right? Because we are subtracting this from this element and adding it to the next. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Okay. But, still giving us an infinite loop, I think. What? How am I messing this up? This is so easy, I think. What? There are t test cases and this thing. Okay. So I do this. So this is fine, I think. And okay. So if any of the element is greater than n by 3, I take the difference. I add that difference to the next element. I subtract it from here. And then if any of the elements is not equal to n by 3, then I won't stop, otherwise I'll stop. So why is this wrong? Just a second. Let me comment this out and see what is the problem. Okay, maybe we have some problem here. Just a second. There's some easy mistake here, I think, that I'm not able to figure out. Let's see if one of the test cases would run. Sorry, let me just print. Okay. Right. Right. Hmm? 102, right? So, oh, sorry. I got it. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm doing. We want all of them to be equal to 1, right? So we can print these after every step, I think. So what will happen after the first step? I think two of them should become equal to 1, right? Oh, nothing happened? Why are we not coming here? Okay, right. So if Ci is greater than n by 3, n equals 6. What? What is happening? How are these counts so small? Shouldn't their sum be equal to 6, I think? Oh, sorry. Oh, I'm really sorry. Wow, okay. Yeah, that was a pretty dumb mistake. Okay. I think somebody all pointed that out in the chat, but I didn't notice. Okay. Right. So I don't need this. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm really sorry, guys. That was a pretty dumb mistake. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, a lot of people were pointing that out in the chat, but yeah, I didn't. I didn't read that. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, yeah. So actually, there were a lot of threes in the code that I wrote three here as well, and yeah. Okay, yeah. So that was the mistake that we did. Okay, yeah. But let me explain this a little bit. So that's what we did. We took these sums, C0, C1, and C2, right? So we calculated this from the input array, and make sure you run the input loop from 0 till n minus 1 instead of from 0 till 2, like what I did. Okay, so after you do this, what you just want to do is uh, you like whatever value you have here, you have to send it to the next element if this is greater than n by 3. Okay, so like if n equals 15, so then n by 3 is 5. And what you want to do is you want to send some of the value to the next element. And then like if this element is 6, you have to send some of it to the next element and so on. And from the 2, you will cycle it back to the first element. And yeah, something like that. Okay. So yeah, this code was correct, but I was stuck for a little while because I was running this loop till 3 instead of n. So yeah, that was just a typographical mistake or something like that. Okay. Yeah, so how many minutes did it take to do that? I was stuck at it for like 10 minutes, I think 10 or 5 minutes, I'm not sure. Right, sum of cubes. So let's try to speed through this one so that we can, balance the thing that we did. Okay, let me read some of the chat by the way. Input must be run to n. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Okay, finally. Right, I'm sorry guys. Okay, where are you coding, which ID have you got accepted in stuff in local ID? Okay, yeah, I'll talk about it someday. Yeah, I'll talk about it anyway. Uh, problem C is ongoing. Okay. I I have to pin that message. Wait. Okay. Anyway, you are given a positive integer uh, x. Okay. Check whether the number is representable as sum of cubes of two positive integers. Okay. Formally, you need to check if there are two integers a and b such that this number is like this. Okay. For example, if x equals 35, then it is possible to do that. Okay. So yeah, that's what we want to do. So I think we just have to iterate over a. So we can iterate over a, and then we can do something like x minus a cube. So then we are left with b cube. So all we have to do is we have to check whether that number is a perfect cube or not. Okay. And we will have to run this run this code only till 10 to power 12, right? So sorry, this is 10 to power 12. So the square root, cube root of 10 to power 12 will only be 10 to power 4. Okay. So we just have to run it till 10 to power 4, right? Okay. Okay. And we have to check, we need to be quickly able to check whether a number is a cube, whether a number is a perfect cube or not. Okay. Something like that. So this is pretty trivial. Let's see how to do it. Okay. So, right. Okay. So we have test cases. Then, yeah, we have a number x. So by the way, you guys must be thinking that they're asking us to take a 64-bit integer instead of 32-bit integer. So I'm not doing that because I have this defined int long long. That means that wherever in my code I have int, that actually means long long. So that's fine. Okay. So now I have this x. Right. Now I can iterate over a, something like this. Right. A should be greater than 1. Okay. So I can iterate from 1 till a very big value, I think 10 to power 4, right? So let's make this, right? So we can iterate from 1 till 10 to power 4. Yeah, I'm explaining problem C. In fact, I'm currently solving problem C. Okay, so you can see how it's solved. Okay. Max value of b can be 10,000. Yeah, that's right. Okay. And yes, if it is representable, otherwise no. Okay, fine. So we will loop on a, and let's say the cube of a is equal to a into a into a, right? And right. So if your sorry, so right, so cube of b equals x minus a cube, right? And one thing we want is that x should be x should be greater than cube of a, right? Yeah, x should be greater than cube of a, otherwise cube of b will be 0. So, or we can just write this more simply, that cube of b should be greater or equal to 0, in fact greater than 0, right? So if it is smaller or equal to 0, then we can just break it from here. Okay. So it should be greater than 0, right? And we want to check, so we need a function to check if the given value is perfect cube or not. Check perfect cube, right? Okay, so this thing will check if x is a perfect cube. For that, we can say the cube root will be equal to CBRT of x, right? And while temp into temp into temp is wait a minute, while this is greater than x, we can do something like temp minus minus, and while it is the same thing is smaller than x, we can do temp plus plus, right? And okay, I think that's it. So if temp into temp into temp, if this thing is actually exactly equal to x, then we will say that it is a perfect cube. We will return true, otherwise we will return false. Okay, and here we just have to check something like if cube of b, in fact check perfect cube. If cube of b is a perfect cube, then we can just say the answer is yes. Okay, and we can return from here. And if we reach here, that means we couldn't find any suitable a and b pair, so then the answer will be no. And we just have to print yes, no, right? Okay, let's see if this is correct. Okay, yeah, so this ran. I think a lot of you guys must be having a little doubt with this function, right? Because the rest of the part is kind of obvious. So what I did was, in this problem C, what I did was, I want a cube plus b cube to be equal to our x, right? So I wrote it as b cube should be equal to x minus a cube, and then I iterated on a, because this will only go from 1 till 10 to power 4, so that's not very big. And yeah, okay. Okay, so yes, so we get this thing from here. And now what we want to do is we want to iterate over all values of a cube, all values of a, so we get x minus a cube, all values of a cube, x minus a cube, and they correspond to b cube. So now we want this to be a perfect cube, right? So to check whether it is a perfect cube or not, I made a function, check perfect cube, and in that I'm taking the cube root of that value. Okay, so I'm taking the cube root of this value, right? I'm calling it temp. Now there's this thing. So there are some precision errors in C++, or most programming languages. There are some precision errors, so you won't get the exact value of cube root of x, right? So this might be a little wrong. So we are using these two loops to get it exactly right. And if you remember, I did this exact same thing in yesterday's contest also for the square root. So when I wanted square root in yesterday's contest, in the yesterday's stream, you can check that out there. So I did something very similar. Okay, so this will give us the exact value of the cube root, and if that is exactly equal to x, that means it is a perfect cube, and we print yes. Otherwise, we print no. Okay, is this correct by the way? Okay, yeah, so that's correct. We've done 3 problems now, and it's been half an hour. Yeah, I'm going a little slow today. That's fine, I think. We can run a loop up to cube root of x. Yeah, I was thinking that might work. Yeah, I was really thinking that might work, but maybe there is a problem with 100 test cases. So wouldn't that be a problem? We have 100 test cases. In each test case, we are going till 10 to the power 4, right? And that's 10 to the power 6 already. Then again, we are yeah, I'm not sure how to do this thing, because this is something like we want the summation of cube root of I, and I varies from 1 till some big value or something like that. This could be a very big value, but not, the values are not continuous. So I don't know how to exactly prove this thing, but yeah, this might work. But I didn't take any risks. What you could have done is, there was this other way. So you could have a set of perfect cubes, right? You could have had a set of perfect cubes, and then you could put all the values in that set. So you can say perfect cubes dot insert I into I into I, right? Something like that you could have done. And then here you could have just done something like perfect cubes dot count cube of b. Yeah, I think this would have also worked. This gives you an additional log factor, but that's fine, right? So I think this is one of the best way to do it. Just store all the perfect cubes in a set, and then check if that value is in the set or not. This should be easy for the beginners as well. If you want to see the code, what you can do is you can go to my profile. Yeah, so you can go to my Codeforces profile. You can click on submissions, and then you can click on this thing, so you will be able to see the code for yourself. So you can watch it anytime you want. Okay, right. So now we are at problem D. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Binary search would also work, but that might be a little complex. You don't want to complicate it that much. How are you checking your test cases in Sublime Text itself? Yeah, so that's an ongoing thing on this channel. This is a joke. I mean, long time subscribers would know this joke. But anyway, yeah. So I actually use this thing called CPP. Wait a minute. Yeah, so I actually use this package called CPP Fast to Olympic Coding. To get this package, what you can do is you can have Sublime Text, and then you can write install package here, and this will show you a list of all the packages. So you just have to search for CPP Fast to Olympic Coding. I can't see this one because I already have it. So if you search for CPP Fast to Olympic Coding, you can get that. It helps you check the test cases, but you also need to be able to auto import them. So for that, I have this competitive companion extension, and there's some code that's written by me that keeps on running on my computer. So it's always listening to the to the competitive companion. Yeah, so I'll explain that someday, how to do it, how you can do it. Anyway, yeah, but it's a bit complex. Okay, so permutation transformation. Permutation is a sequence. Okay, that's fine. Polycarp was recently gifted a permutation, and he likes trees more than permutations. Okay, so he wants to transform permutation into a rotated binary tree. He transforms an array A into a tree as follows. Okay, so maximum element becomes the root. All the elements to the left of the maximum form the left subtree. Okay, and okay, so yeah, recursively he's doing that thing. I don't even have to read this whole thing to understand what's going on. Okay, I don't need to see this example, and I don't need to see this example either. Okay, yeah. So this is the question. Let's denote dv the depth of vertex AB, that is the number of edges on the path. note that root of the depth root is like root depth is 0. Okay, that's fine. So given the permutation A, for each vertex find the value of dv. Is that all we have to do? That's it. Okay, right. Okay, so in each interval we want the rank of a certain number, right? Yeah, that's what we want to do. We have a certain interval and we want the rank of a number. Okay, fine. Or else what we can do is we can, I think, see, I know the best, I know the easiest solution here. That is to form a segment tree on this, and then the segment tree will help us get the maximum value. Like we can get the maximum value is 5. So what I can do is I can put 0 corresponding to 5. Then on the left side I know the maximum is 3. On the right side I know the maximum is 4, and so on. So yeah, so that is easy. But I think this is a division 3D, so I don't think there should be a segment tree solution. Like there must be a solution that is without the segment tree. So let me think how we can do that without a segment tree. Oh yeah, that's easy, because we are always taking the maximum in a range that is from the left or from the right. Okay, so from the left or from the right. Okay, so we can just keep the prefix and the suffix maximum, right? So that way we can easily get which element is maximum. Okay, so I'll do that solution instead of the segment tree solution, because I think div 3D, the people who are willing to solve div 3D, I think segment tree would be too difficult for them. So I'll be doing it without segment tree. Although let that be known that if I were alone, like if I wasn't streaming or recording, I would have done this with a segment tree, because I already have it coded, so that would have been easier for me. But anyway, so here it's not required. We can just have the prefix and suffix minimum and maximum. Okay. Okay. Let's say I have the prefix maximum. I have the suffix maximum. Okay. And I want the array as input. Okay. I take the array as input, and now I want both prefix and suffix maximum. Okay. So for now I can say that both of these are equal to my AI. Okay. Now I have to build these things. I'll start from equals 2, I think. Okay, go till n plus 1, and I'll say the prefix max of I equals the max of prefix max of I minus 1, or prefix max of I, right? In this way I'll have the prefix max. Now I also want the suffix max, so for that I'll loop from the right direction. Okay, so I'll start from n minus 1, go till 0. Okay, like this. And now I can do the same thing for the suffix max. I can say suffix max of I equals the max of suffix max of I plus 1, or suffix max of I itself, right? So that's what we want to do. Yeah, okay. And now I think we have to do kind of DFS, I think. Right. So I think it would be better to have these arrays global. And instead of n plus 1, we can have the size as maybe 200 or something. Also, I see another thing. I think since this n is not too big, we can get the maximum in linear time as well, right? So we don't even need this prefix and suffix max. We can just do it in linear time. So this will take us what, 100 operations per per node of the tree. We can get up to 100 operations, and since we have t test cases, it goes up to 10 to the power 6. We don't really need this prefix and suffix max. We can do it manually, but I think now I have done it. So anyway. Okay, so let's write a recursive function. Okay, and we need something to store the depths. Okay, I think this was way too easy. You can just iterate to get the maximum. Okay, well, I'll just call it a function fn. Okay, so this function will make the tree, and for this I need a left and a right. Okay, because the tree is representing a range or something like that, right? Like the left index and the right index. I'll start with 1 comma n, and like in this case, first I'll start with 1 comma n, then I'll go to this thing. Yeah, actually prefix and suffix max won't really work because we need the minimums in ranges that are not starting from the first element. Okay, and we also have the depth. Okay, LRD, right? So we will start it like this, function of 1 comma n comma 0. Okay, so that's how we will start this thing, and we want the maximum in a given range. Okay, so we want the maximum in the range L to R. Okay, so for that we can run a loop. So in the beginning, let's say max is equal to 0, then let's run a loop like this. I goes from L to R. Okay, and if okay, yeah, so we just need the maximum. Okay. Yeah, so we have the maximum. I think we also need the index of the maximum. Okay, so something like if A of ID is smaller than A of I, we will say the maximum equals if maximum is smaller than AI, we will say the maximum is equal to AI and the ID equals I, right? So now we have the element that is the maximum, we have the index of that element, and I'll just say the depth of that element equals D. Okay, and then I have two different intervals. One interval is from my left till ID, the other interval is from right till, sorry, from ID plus left till ID minus 1, the other interval is from ID plus 1 till right. Okay, yeah, so these two intervals we have, and we have to perform the function for both of them. We can do something like L till ID minus 1, and the depth is D plus 1, obviously. Okay, wait a second. Yeah, this goes from ID plus 1 till R. Okay, so we need a base case for this recursion, and that will be if L is greater than R, then we have to stop. So we'll just return. Yeah, so I think this will store the correct depths, and we just want to print the depths. Is this correct? And this looks correct to me. Let's submit this. I think this problem, there was nothing to think about in this problem. We just had to implement what was given in the question. So it's like we will be given a permutation. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. So we will be given a permutation like this, and each node, or in fact each subtree is representing a range like this. So initially the root is representing the entire tree from 1 till n, right? So that's what the root is representing. And what we want to do is we kind of want to get the maximum in this range, so you can do it in linear time. And once you get the maximum, then you will split it into two parts, this part and this part. And here the depth was equal to D, and here you will send the depth equal to D plus 1 and D plus 1. So you can do it all with a recursive function. The time complexity of this solution was O of t into n square. Okay, because in each test case we're doing the whole thing, and this n square comes because we're going to each node once, right? So we're going to each node once, and to find that maximum we are doing up till n operation. So yeah, so we're doing this in t of n square, sorry, in O of t n square, and this could have been optimized to O of tn log n, O of t and login using segment tree or some other technique like sparse table or something like that. Yeah, so we could have done that, and that's what this problem was about. Yeah, I realized that prefix suffix won't work because we don't want only the prefix suffix. Yeah, check standings. Has Colin already won? Oh wow, oh wow. Nice. Yeah. So congrats, Colin. Okay. But in my defense, I'm not recording. Sorry, in my defense, you weren't recording and I'm streaming. So I have to please do it with Secretary also. Yeah. So okay. So that is a good, fair enough request. We can do it with Secretary. That's fine. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to get the. Wait a minute. So we want to get the maximum and the index of the maximum, right? So I can use my Secretary like this, and here I want both the value and the ID, because I don't want only the maximum value, I also want the ID of the maximum, right? So here I'll take the input as wait a second. Right. Yeah. Okay. So now I can do something like, okay. So basically, in this part, in the build function, I also send the ID. So yeah, so you don't have to worry about that. You can just basically write. So if you want to understand all these things, you should check out my segment tree course that I did earlier. You can check it in the community tab of my channel. I've written a post about it earlier. Anyway, so here what we want to do is we want to take the maximum and also the ID of the maximum, right? So we can say v equals the max of what L dot v and R dot v, right? And if v equals L dot v, then we will say that ID equals L dot ID, otherwise R dot ID, right? Right. So we want the ID and this thing. So yeah, I think that's all we want here. And then we will build the segment tree over this array A, right? Okay. So now we can just use our RMQ to get these two values. So we want the max and ID, right? In fact, we only want the ID. So I can do something like ID equals t dot query this range L comma R dot ID. Yes, I think this should work. Sorry, int ID. Yeah. Okay. Is this right? 10231 and 0132. Yeah, so I think probably this is right. Let's try to submit this again. Like if you don't understand this segment tree, what you can do is you can take my course. So let me tell you guys about that just a second. Okay, so I'm going to tell you about my segment tree course, so you can take it if you're interested. Let me find the link. Okay, yeah, here's the link. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the link in the description of the video, so you can watch it from there. Okay. So you can check the description. I'm going to put this link there. Okay. Yeah. So the link is in the description now. You can check it out from there. Okay. Right. Right. So we have done problem D now. Now let's see problem E. Okay. and I have to change the ongoing problem. Sorry, problem is ongoing. Okay, let's see what's happening in the chat. By the way, I haven't seen it for since a long time. How to make Chrome black or CF black? I just told you about this dark reader. I have this extension called dark reader. You can use that too. Okay. Hi Prakhar. Hi Colin and okay. Okay. Yeah. So varied problem E now. Championship is held in Berlin, in which n players participate. The player with the number I has the I tokens. Okay. The two random players with non-zero tokens are selected. The player with more tokens is considered the winner of the game, and the winning player takes all of the losers' tokens. Everything is random and equally probable. Okay. Therefore, judges want to know in advance which players have a chance of winning, that is, have a non-zero probability of winning, and you have to find all the players that have a non-zero chance of winning. Okay. Um. Right. Okay. So, okay, let's think about this. Any player who has the smallest number of tokens, I don't think he can win. Like, yeah, obviously he can never win because like he'll lose all of the matches, right? The person with the most number of tokens, he can obviously win because he can defeat everyone else. Okay, right. So we can think of it in a way that, yeah. So the person with the maximum tokens can definitely win, and the second maximum can win or not. That depends if on if like we want the sum of all this to be greater than this, right? Yeah, so I think that's all we want at each index. Like for each player, we want the sum of all the tokens, like all the sorry, wait a minute, the sum of all the tokens from the players with the lesser tokens than him to be greater than the immediately next player who could have won, right? So we have it's kind of like we will start from the maximum. Okay, so we start from the maximum and we keep going downwards, right? And we have to keep track of a player that can win, okay, which has lowest initial tokens, right? So we want the player who can win and has the lowest initial tokens, and we're at this current player, right? So if the current player can defeat this player, if the current player can defeat this player, then he can win the match, right? So before defeating this player, what we want to do is we want to give him as many tokens as he can get, and for that, I think he can just take the sum of like he can take the sum of all the values that are equal to or smaller than this, right? So he can add all of that up, and then if he's if his sum is greater than this player, then he can win. And if it is not greater than this player, then he cannot win. Yeah. Because like if there is a player in between them, like this blue player is this thing, this green player cannot win. And let's say the sum of all this is greater than this green, but not greater than this blue, right? So we know that that is not good enough, because even if we add this green to this thing, we won't be able to win, because this green could have added everything and still couldn't win to this blue player, right? So that means this yellow player will definitely lose to the blue player. And if he cannot win to the blue player, he cannot win to the players that are above this blue player. Yeah. Yeah, so that's what we want to do. We want to get the sum of all the elements with smaller equal to then with this player, right? Yeah. Okay, so yeah, so let's implement this thing. Are the constraints good enough? Yeah, so we have full constraints here. So we have to use some technique to get this sum of all the elements that are smaller equal to this thing. Okay. Okay. So for that, I think we can just keep the sorted version of the array, and we can keep the we can keep a wait a minute. We can keep the sorted version of the array. We can use and we can keep the prefix sum of the sorted version of the array. Then, let's say if the sorted version of the array looks something like this: 1 2 2 2 2 3, something like that. Then the prefix sum will look something like 1 2 4 and 6 8 11, something like this. So let's say if we're at this player, we will just find the upper bound of 2, which will be this thing, and then we want to add all of this. So the sum of all of this is equal to this element, that is 8. Yeah, so I think that's what we want to do. We want to keep a sorted version of the array, and we also want to keep the prefix sum of the sorted version of the array, and using that we will be able to get the sum of sum that is required. Okay, so we will start from the maximum and we will keep going downwards. Okay, so we can keep which values can win, and then we will just, what we have to do, print the number of players that can win. Okay, yeah, so I think that's all we have to do here. So not tough to think, but a little tough implementation for the beginners. Experienced people will find the implementation also easy. Okay, so we have an array. Okay, let's also keep a vector for this thing. And I'm doing that because we also want, we not only want the original version, we also want the sorted version. Okay, right. So let's sort V. Sort all won't work for everyone. This is a macro defined by me. All of x means from x dot begin to x dot end. Okay, now I also want the prefix sum, so let's call it pf. Okay, we can say pf0 equals v0. After that, we can just do this thing. Okay. Yeah, so this way we have the sorted version of the array. We also have the prefix sum over the sorted version, right? Now what we want to do is we want to check if a certain person can win or not. Okay, yeah, so we want to check if AI can win, so let's call it x. Okay, we want to check if x can win or not. Yeah, no, actually we don't want to do that. We will start from the maximum, right? So in the beginning we can say the maximum can always win. Whatever the maximum is, that can always win. So we have to pick this blue thing, right? A player that can win and which has the lowest initial tokens. Okay, so we want only the lowest initial tokens. So lowest win tokens. Okay. Initially, that is equal to your the maximum value, that is v dot back. Okay. So initially that is equal to the maximum itself, and we will decrease this one by one. Okay. So let's iterate on the array v in the reverse direction. Okay. Yeah. And what we want to do is we want to get the sum of all the tokens that are smaller or equal to this thing, and like, okay, wait a minute. The tokens of this is let's say x. Okay, and this is equal to vi. Okay, and what we want to do is we want to check if uh, like if all the tokens that are smaller or equal to x, if their sum is at least greater or equal to this lowest win tokens. Okay, so let's say the sum, we want the value of the sum. Okay, so to get that we need to find this element. We need the upper bound of this element in the vector v. Okay, so it will be something like upper bound of v of the value x, right? So we want the upper bound. We'll subtract v dot begin to get the exact index, and we want the prefix sum of that index. Okay, yeah. So this way we get this sum of all the elements that are smaller or equal to x, and we want it to be greater or equal to the lowest win tokens. Okay. Now, if this is greater or equal to the lowest win tokens, that means this person has a chance of winning. Okay. Let me zoom it out a little bit. Okay. That means this person has a chance of winning, and if he has a chance of winning, that means we can first of all say that, okay, so we can say people with value x can win. So we'll do something about that in a minute. And the lowest win tokens will decrease. So lowest win tokens will become equal to x, right? And as about what we can do about x can win, we can have a set of win tokens. So people with these many tokens can win, right? And initially we can just insert v dot back here. So let's say s dot insert lowest win tokens. So basically we want all the values of lowest win tokens in this set. Okay, yeah, fine. And sorry, this is not s, this is lowest win tokens. Okay, yeah, so we have all the values of win tokens in our set, and I think that will I think that's enough. We just have to print how many of them can win. Okay, so we can keep a vector vector print. Okay, so in this I'll store whatever I have to print, something like this. And if ai is equal to, sorry, if win tokens dot count ai, that means, yeah, actually we didn't even have to do all this. I think I overcomplicated it a little bit, because we could notice that if k cannot win, anything smaller than k can also not win. So maybe in the else part we could just write break, and that would also work, right? So I haven't written it till now, so let's not write it, but if we write that, it will be correct. Okay, anyway, so uh, if this thing has win tokens in it, so what we can do is we can say that we will print this index. Okay, so we can say print dot pushback I plus 1. In the end we just have to print the whole vector. So see out size of print, leave a line, then print all the values in this thing. The reason I stop is weird. Sometimes I go black completely, lose my train of thought. Other times OBS does weird things. Okay. So my OBS usually doesn't do weird things, but sometimes it might. Who knows? I forgot to import the test case by the way. Okay, so I think this is definitely wrong. Right. Okay, so actually this is upper bound -1. Right. I think now it's right. Right? Yeah, probably right. So can this give us a runtime error? I think this will at least be 0 because upper bound will at least be 1 because we actually have that element in the vector. So yeah, this will work. I'm pretty sure I've overcomplicated this a lot, but I think that's fine. Because in a contest you don't always have to think about the best solution. You have to think about a solution that you can think quickly. That's fine if you overcomplicate it a little bit, but I'll try to explain the simple solution that I have in my mind right now. Okay, so let's try to explain the simple solution that I have in my mind right now. Okay, so I think here binary search could have also worked, so I think that would have been the easiest solution. Binary search maybe, but I'm not sure, so I won't talk about it. The solution that I'm thinking right now is, we know that till a value the players can win. Like if you have at least k tokens, you can win, right? So it's something like that. If you have at least k tokens, you can win. And what we want to do is we want to find the value of k. Okay, and to do that, I started from the maximum number of initial tokens, and I know that this maximum will definitely win, and I call it the lowest win tokens till now. Okay, and now I'm going downwards from there. I'm taking the second max, third max, fourth max, and so on, right? And let's say I have some other value. Let's say this value is x. Okay, and what I want to do is I want the sum of all elements, that are smaller or equal to x, right? And if this value is greater or equal to lowest win tokens, then what can happen is this person can eventually beat this person. And since this person was since this person could win, then that means this person will also be able to win. And in that way we can find the value of k, right? So that's what it is. Okay. Yeah, I was thinking 2 pointers would also work. What did you do, by the way? It seems like you didn't do 2 pointers of binary search, both of them. Wow, you beat Neil. That's really nice. Okay. Problem E, right? What did you do? Wait, I can't see the solutions. Oh, right. I'm in the virtual contest, right? Obviously, I can't see the solutions. Okay. So anyway, my logic is correct, but I don't know how to implement it. Yeah, that just means you need more practice with a lot of problems. So you need to improve your implementation skills. Okay, Neil started late. Yeah, that might be true. Let's see. Maybe he started 1 minute late because he has done the first problem at 3 minutes. So I don't think, even if he started, I don't know, even if he started 2 minutes earlier, it'd still be losing to Colin because he has 81. Sorry, he has 83 penalty. And if you subtract 14 from here, I think Colin is still winning, right? So if he had started 2 minutes earlier, then you can subtract 14 from his penalty, right? Because in each problem, you're saving 2 minutes, something like that. I don't think that's that, because Neil started late or anything. So Colin beat him fair square. Okay. Yeah, Colin was. How to do with two pointer? Yeah, so two pointer is something like I'll tell you. Instead of doing this binary search, what you can do is you can keep track of the next biggest element. So like this is the second pointer. So like one pointer is the I that that is the current element at which we are at, and the other pointer will be the next biggest the next element that is bigger than I. Okay, so we can have another value, let's say int j. Okay, and j can be like the immediately bigger value or something like that. J, I mean, not online right now. No, I'm not online. Why is that happening? Okay. Yeah, so there was just some issue with the Wi-Fi. Okay. Yeah. So for how long was this paused? Can anybody tell me for how long was this paused? Because I think I was talking about some important things. Yeah, I think I was explaining the two-pointer approach, and I think between that somewhere. Okay, so did I explain two pointers, or should I do that again? Okay. Yeah, I think that's fine. So anyway, let's move on. Okay. So we have this problem F to change the pinned message. Okay, you guys want me to do that again, right? So yeah, so two pointer approach was something like you'd have the second pointer here, int j equal to smallest j, such that vj is greater than I, sorry, vj is greater than vi, and I is our second pointer. So what we can do is here we can do something like if vj, sorry, if vj minus 1 is greater than vi, we can do j minus minus and so on. So yeah, this way we could have kept this thing. Okay, so initially we could have kept it like n, and here we could have just taken j minus 1 or something. So I think that might have worked. I think this is exactly correct. Maybe have to debug one or two lines or something, but this is probably right already. Let me see on the sample. Why is my net slow? Like my net is actually supposed to be really, really fast. Am I buffering? Okay. Yeah, so you see, it's correct now. Yeah, we could have done something like that, and that completely eliminates the use of the upper bound or anything. We can just do it with two pointers using these two lines, right? Okay. Mm, okay. So we are at problem F now. I might have to hurry up a little bit because only 46 minutes are left, and I might not be able to finish this contest if I keep wasting my time on the chat. Anyway, this is about equalizing the array. G first. Let's see the number of submissions. No, actually, F has a lot more submissions. I think it would be. Uh, is there echo? Is there echo on my stream? I don't think there should be echo. Can anybody tell me if there's echo on my stream? Yeah, it should be fine. Okay. Okay, cool. So we're at problem F, and this is about Polycarp was gifted an array of length A. Array of length n. I mess this up every time. Polycarp considers an array beautiful if there exists a number c such that each number in the array occurs either 0 or c times. Okay. Polycarp wants to remove some elements from the array to make it beautiful. Okay. Okay. Determine the minimum number of elements to remove from the array to make it beautiful. That's it? What? What was this problem? He was gifted an array of length n. Okay. Oh, right. So C is not given, right? I thought C is given to us in input. Then it would have been like too trivial. Okay. So C is not given to us in input, and we want to do something like that. Okay. So C is not given, and that's the whole problem. So maybe we can try all C's, right? And to try all C's, we have to be able to try a particular C quickly, right? So for that, what we will do is, okay, right. So there might be some other solutions, but I'll go with the solution where we try all C's. Okay. So my solution is basically try all possible C. Okay. So I'm going to try all values of C, and we have to be able to quickly solve it for a particular C, right? So let's say we have a lot of elements, and how can we try all possible C's? Okay. So let's say we want to check for a C. Basically, we can keep the count of all the elements. I think even that is not required. So if we take a C and we have some element AI, so if AI is smaller than, sorry, if AI is smaller than C, we will have to do AI steps, right? Because we have to wait a minute. Considers an array beautiful. Okay, sorry. What am I talking about? So what we actually want to do is we want the count of each element. Okay, so let's take array count, and count x stores the count of each element. Stores count of x. Okay, so count x stores the count of x. And then let's say if we pick a C. Okay, so if we pick a C, then what we want to do is we want to like if count of I is smaller than C, then we will add count I to our answer because we have to remove all of these elements. And if count of I is greater than C, then we will add count of I minus C to our answer, right? I think that is it. Yeah. So if it is smaller than C, we have to add count C. If it is greater or equal to C, in fact, even if it is equal, then also we can do this thing. So even if it is greater or equal to C, then we want count I minus C, and we want to add that. Okay. So basically, we will add all the counts every time. Okay. So we always add all the counts. Okay. But so basically, we will add n, and we will subtract C multiplied by number of x such that count of x is, sorry, number of x such that count of x is greater than C, right? So that's what we want. So we need to make the count array or something like that, and then we want to quickly get how many elements of this array have this value greater or equal to C. Okay, so that's what we want to do. We want to get how many of these have the value greater or equal to C. So I think there are a lot of ways to do that. I'll personally go with ordered set right now. So using ordered set, we can easily do this. We just have to do something like order of key, and that way we can do it pretty quickly. And we can check all the possible C's, right? And all the possible C's will only be values from this array count of X or something like that, right? Yeah, I'm not sure we even need ordered set. I think it might be fine even without it. Maybe we only need the unique values of count, and at each value we can try or something like that. I'll probably go with ordered set. Okay, yeah, so that's easy to implement for me. Okay, implementation is very messy for G. Okay, so we haven't reached G till now. Right. Okay, so we have T test cases, then we have N, input N. Okay, and I think we just want the count of the elements, right? So we can keep a map of counts. Then we can just input the values and keep the counts. We don't need the actual values. Okay, so run a loop n times, input the element and keep the counts. Okay, so we only need the counts. Okay, and then once we have the counts, and the counts are all we need, right? We don't care about the actual elements. Okay, then what did I have to do here? I have to try all possible C's, and they will be equal to at least one of the counts. Okay, so maybe we can put all of the counts in a vector and or in an ordered set or something. We want to get how many of them are bigger or something like that. Okay, right, so we can put all the counts in a vector. Let's call this counts for auto x in count. We can put count dot pushback x dot second. Okay, yeah, so now we have all the counts in this vector, right? And right, so we want how many of the elements are greater or equal to like that count. So maybe we can just sort this thing and do the exact same thing that we did in the previous question, the upper bound thing. Okay, right, so we can try all the counts and yeah. Okay, I'm sorry, we can just go through all these values. Okay, and let's try C equal to this thing. Okay, so if we try this C, we will get a certain answer that will be equal to n minus this thing, I think. Sorry, C minus number of counts that are greater or equal to C. Okay, so for that we will just use upper bound again. We want the upper bound all of C, sorry, all of counts of the value C. Okay, so this will give us the index of the smallest value that is greater than C. In fact, we want the lower bound because even if it is equal to C, we are okay with that. Okay, so we take the lower bound and we subtract v dot begin from here. So I think now we get the number of elements that are smaller than C. Okay, count dot begin. Okay, so these are the number of elements that are smaller. Okay, so now we have the number of elements that are smaller than C. So the number of elements that are bigger than C will be equal to total number of elements minus the SM, I think. Okay, yeah, so we have these many big elements, and let's start with answer equals, we have to minimize the answer, right? Okay, so let's start with answer equals infinity, and we will minimize the answer. So something like answer comma n minus C into what? C into big. Okay, right. This should be correct according to me. Okay, so let's see. Let's just double check if everything is right. Okay. Sorry. So we should get the answer 212. We are getting 212. Let's try to submit this and get this done with. For F, okay, so implementation for F is difficult. Okay. Yeah, thank you, Vineet. Traverse the vector with prefix sum or do minus. Yeah, so I'm reading the chat. I'm not understanding a lot of things here. But yeah, let's see the code of this problem F. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Let's see the code of this problem F. Let's see what we did here. Okay, so we took all the counts and then in a vector we stored all the counts. Now what we want to do is we want to sort the counts, and then we're taking the lower bound. So this is giving us the number of elements that are smaller than C in the array of counts, and big is the number of elements that are bigger than C, and answer will be something like n minus C into big. And let's see where that came from. So that came from here. Like if it is smaller than C, then we have to add count I to our answer because we have to remove all these elements. If it is greater or equal to C, then we will add count I to our answer, but we will subtract C because we can leave C elements. So if we perform a summation over all the elements, then the summation of count I will become equal to n itself. So we want n minus C into number of count number of x such that count x is greater or equal to C. Yeah, so that's what we wanted, and that's what we did in the code. Okay, so the last problem is G, and I expect it to be a little harder than the other problems. Should I see the rank, by the way? I don't think it's good. It must be wow, 900. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so this is not very good, but I think if I weren't streaming, I could have done a little better. Okay. G solution. Yeah, we're going to do that now. Okay, so problem G is now ongoing. By the way, can we get the likes to 150? Okay, so problem G is ongoing now. Polycarp was dismantling his attic and found an old floppy disk. This was inserted in the drive with an integer written on it. Polycarp wrote the numbers from the disk into the. Okay. What? The drive takes one positive number in x as input and puts a pointer to the first element. Okay. After that, the drive starts rotating the disk. Yeah, even I don't know much about the difference between class and structure. All I know is in the class you have to define the things as public, otherwise you cannot access them. But in structure, everything is. Problem G ongoing message. Can't you see it? I just posted it, right? Didn't I pin it? Oh, I think I forgot to pin it. Okay, now it's pinned. Okay, that's the only difference. Yeah, that's the only difference I know about. Okay, now moreover, I think there's another thing that struct is something that was taken from C. Okay, and class is something that is introduced in C++. So in a like in principle, it is different in the way that like classes are about object-oriented programming and stuff like that. So you have classes and objects and things like that. But you can, but you can basically, you know, make objects of struct also. I'm not sure. Emote Sakon YT. Yeah, that might be true. You can have the stickers as well, but they are from the super chat. So you'll have to use the super chat thing to get the stickers, right? Sorry, not this. Yeah, I'd advise you to not do it because yeah, I actually had it off until yesterday. Somebody asked me to turn it on, but I would say that don't use that feature. Yeah. Anyway, unless you want to give 10,000. So if you want to give 10,000, that's fine. Otherwise, don't use it. Okay. So Polycarp wrote the numbers on the disk. Okay. After that, the drive starts rotating the disk every second. Okay. So it is rotating and counting the sum of all the elements that have been under the pointer. And since the disk is round in the array A, the last element is again followed by the first one. Okay. As soon as the sum is at least x, the drive will shut down. Polycarp wants to learn more about the operation of this, but he has absolutely no free time. So he has to ask you m questions. To answer the ith of them, you need to find how many seconds the drive will work if it is given x size input. Please note that in some cases the drive can work infinitely. But it can work infinitely. Okay, right. So the right. The elements can be negative as well. So yes, obviously it can work infinitely. It might work infinitely. And now the answer to the first query is 0 because the initial sum is already 1. The second query is 6 because yeah, this element is negative. So okay. And the answer to the third query is 2 because what? Okay, 2 steps. Fine. Sir, any YT channel for learning OOPS in C++? Yeah, I don't think you want to learn OOPS in C++ because like people usually don't use object-oriented programming with C++. C++ is usually used only for competitive programming as far as I know, because these days for development there's something better for everything. Like if you want to do, I don't know, if you want to do machine learning, you will go for Python. If you want to do something else, like pretty much everything you will go for Python. In a few cases, Java or something like that, or C sharp, whatever. Polycarp हर जगह आ जाता है. Yeah, that's true. That translates to Polycarp is everywhere, like in all problems or something. Okay. Java is better for OOPS in my opinion. Yeah, I think Java has rigid syntax or something like that. Okay. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about. So the first line contains T and yeah, so you want to know where it will stop. Fine. So basically, if the sum of all the elements in this array is 0 or smaller than 0, then what will happen is you either stop in the first round or you never stop. Okay, yeah, so that's the thing. So you either stop in the first round or you never stop. If the sum is, wait a minute, yeah, if the sum of the array is 0 or less than 0, you either stop in the first round or you never stop. Okay, so you can stop in the first round. Let's see how. Okay, so let's say if you have the array something like 1, 3, 5 and minus 100, so the total sum of the array is smaller than 0, but you still might stop in the first round. Okay, so like even if the input is 4, you can stop here. Okay, right. So otherwise, if this sum is positive, if this total array sum is positive, then you could have multiple steps. Okay, like you can have multiple rounds. So let's say this sum is equal to s. So what you can do is you can do, I think, x by s rounds. Okay, so you can do x by s rounds in the beginning, right? And then you will have x mod s. Then you will have x mod s remaining. Okay, what you want to do is you want to quickly find what the answer will be for x mod s, right? And that's what you want. So I think we can do that by just simulating it for one round in the beginning, and we can keep track of all the records. Okay, so what I mean by a record is the best value we have gotten till now, like word record or something like that. Yeah, then that's what we want. Is ever rule here on the chat? Mm, okay, anyway. Uh, wow. Which one of these is Everrule? Is this Aditya? Is Aditya Jain Everrule? Oh, I didn't know his original name. Okay, so I think that's what healthy AJ means. Okay. Bhaiya, I am your biggest fan. Thank you, Karthik Sharma. Mm, okay. I didn't know your name. You also asked what like UG in the healthy UG meant. So you also didn't know my name. That's fine. Oh, sorry. CC for 2 years and dev for 3. Okay. So yeah. That's what we want. We want the records in that array. So let's try to code this thing. That will be the end of this contest. We have 25 minutes. So I think we can do it in, I don't know, 10 or 12. Like, yeah, I might mess it up as well. Remember in the problem B, I was taking, I was looping till 3 instead of n. So yeah, sometimes I'm just dumb like that. By the way, what do we have to print? We have to print how many seconds the drive will work. Okay, fine. This is like, we want the input like this. Okay. So Everrule, by the way, if you weren't here, I would have written something like int an, and instead of this, but since you are here, I'm going to write this because the other day you made fun of me on my Discord for using arrays instead of vectors. Yeah, I'm wasting 24 bytes here. I'm gonna write this here, wasting 24 bytes. 24 bytes or bits? 24 bytes, I think, because of Everrule, who is ours, by the way. Okay. Love your content, maths and competitive programming. Thanks a lot. Okay. So, how much time have you been doing competitive programming? Since October 2018. So, however long that is. Okay. Then we have m positive integers. These are m queries. I think we can process them one by one. What we want to do right now is we want the sum. Okay. So, sum is required. Sum is, let's say it is 0. And yeah. Okay. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so we have to print -1 if the drive will run infinitely. Okay. Okay. So by the way, what we want to do is we want to take all the prefix sums and take the records in that. Okay. So it will be something like, let's say the prefix sum equals 0, and we start with I01, something like that. And the prefix sum will be will add AI to the prefix sum like this. And we want all the records. Okay. So by a record, I mean that this should be bigger than anything else we've found till now. Okay. Maybe we can store all the records in a set. Yeah, I think we can store all the records in a set. Okay. We can store like a set int of records. Okay. Maybe this should be set of parent int. Okay. Yeah, we can store all the records here. Right. So if this prefix sum is greater than anything we've found till now, if this is greater than the records dot begin first, okay. So if this is bigger than anything we found till now, then we can put this into our set. The prefix sum comma our index. Okay. Yeah. So this way we can store all the records, right? And whatever our answer is, it will be one of the records, right? So we have to just find the lower bound of the x that is given to us as input. Okay. So now we have to do all the m queries. Okay. Right. And right. So we'll take x as input. Okay. And let's say if the sum is smaller or equal to 0. Okay. And sorry, this should be records dot r begin. We want the biggest record. Sorry. Yeah. If we have the records dot r begin dot first. Okay, if this is smaller than x, that means we will never find the answer. We can just print -1 and we can continue from here. Okay. Did you have any programming knowledge or experience before starting CP? I would say I had a lot because like when I was in class 7th, I used to learn about programming as a hobby. So basically, I learned HTML, etc. So that's not really programming, but yeah, that's what I did. Are you using define int long long? Yeah, I always use that. Can you make fun of me for that? Store the positive records only. Right, right. I think it will be fine even if we store the negative records. Mm, but there is one problem here. I think if it is negative, then that will be a problem, right? Okay. Sorry, like if there are no elements here, then that will be a problem. Okay. We can say records dot in sorry, like if records is empty. Okay, so if the records are empty, then we can insert this. I don't think there will be any problem if we insert a negative element here, because like since x is positive, so the lower bound will never be a negative element, so we don't care about that. Yeah, that's not a problem. But if the biggest record is also smaller than x, then that means that's a problem. So we'll print -1. Okay, and continue. Otherwise, what we can do is we can just take the number of rounds. Okay, so the number of rounds are equal to, I think, x mod. Okay, sorry. So we'll do this only if the sum is greater than 0. Okay, so if the sum is greater than 0, okay, then what we can do is we can say the number of rounds. The number of rounds are 0, and if the sum is greater than 0, then we can say that we will have x by n rounds. Sorry, x by some rounds. Yeah, so these many rounds we will have, and apart from that, x will be equal to x mod sum. Okay, now we want to find that in a records array. Okay, so we want to find this in the records array, and for that I think I can do a binary search. Okay, so this will be something like records dot lower bound. Okay, sorry, records dot lower bound. We want to put a pair here. So the first value will definitely be x. For the second, we can put anything. I think I can put a -1 so that we get the thing that we want. So this is the iterator to that element, and we only want the second of this thing. Okay, so the index will be equal to the it dot second. Okay, yeah. So we get the index at which it will stop, and if it like whichever index it stops at, that many steps we moved. Okay, so int steps moved will be equal to id plus the rounds. Okay, so rounds into the size of one round, that is n, I think, right? So these are the steps moved, and that's what we have to print here, I think. If this is correct, then we have solved this contest, and that will be the end of this. Why is this not working, by the way? Okay, my auto import thing is not working. Okay, okay, let's try this again. Okay. Okay. This is wrong, I think. 062. This should be 2 and we printed a 3. Okay, so now we found one mistake. This 2, it should be a 2 and we printed a 3. Why did we print a 3, by the way? We should have gotten the record at 2, right? So why did we print a 3? Did we do one round or something like that? No. We didn't do any rounds because of this thing. It always goes here. Why? Okay, yeah, the sum is greater than this thing. It's greater than 0. Okay, I think this was a wrong thing to do. Yeah, we didn't want to do this. Yeah. We will do this only if you can't do it in the biggest record, right? Okay, so this should be the condition there. So if the records that are begin first is smaller than x, like if we cannot do it in one round, then what we will do is we will try to add more rounds. Okay. I think now it's correct. 062 minus 1 minus minus 1 and 1 3. Okay. This one is also wrong. We have 0 1, okay, and we have 1 2. For 2 this is wrong. That should be 3, right? So why are we printing 4? Oh, okay. Yeah, this is a big problem. Yeah, we're unnecessarily completing the last round, right? We don't want to do that. So maybe we can, okay, right. Okay, right. Right, so I think maybe if x equals 0, not sure, wait a minute. So yeah, maybe if x is divisible by sum, then we can do something else. Okay. Yeah, the problem is when x is divisible by sum. When x mod sum equals 0, then we have to do something else. Okay. I think then we should leave out 1. Okay, so we should leave, we should do one less round if the sum is divisible by x. Okay. I think still something is wrong a little. I think we should subtract the best record. Like even if I do this, it will still be wrong. Yeah, it will run on the sample, but it will still be wrong probably. 062 minus 1. What? Okay, sorry. X equal to x minus rounds into n. Yeah, but I think that will still be wrong. Rounds into sum. Yeah, I think that will still be wrong. Yeah, I think the sample is correct, but yeah, I think this code is still wrong. And the problem here is that, like here we had the sum of the round as equal to 2, I think. So what we didn't notice that is that like the record in a certain round can be very big and the sum can be much smaller than that. Okay, so let's try to make a case like that. Let's say we have 4 elements and 1 query. Okay, so the record can be very big, like let's say we have 10 to power 3, something like we have 1000, but the sum can be pretty small. Okay, okay, something like this. We can have the sum pretty small, right? Something like this. So let's see the query at which it will be wrong. I think it will be wrong at 1001, right? So if we have 1001, we only need 4 steps, I think, right? Yeah, but it is saying 4000 steps. So yeah, this is definitely wrong. And we have to see what we have to do here. Okay. Okay. Why are there so many YouTube emojis on the chat? Okay. Yeah. So that's where it can go wrong, and that's not what we want here. Okay. So maybe we just have to find the biggest record. Maybe we can binary search on the number of rounds, right? We can binary search on the number of rounds, or just maybe we only care about the biggest record, right? Like we have to do as many rounds that like in the biggest record we are able to do it. Something like, let's say in temp equals x minus the biggest record, which will be this thing. Okay, and we need only temp by some rounds, I think. Okay, so these many rounds have to be completed so that then the biggest record can do the remaining thing. Okay, right, so now the biggest record can do the remaining thing, but what will happen if we don't require the biggest record? Like it's not necessary that we always stop at the biggest record. See, something is wrong here. So we have to fix something here. Yeah, at least this is right, but this is very, very wrong. Okay. The biggest record was what? I think here it was 4. So we subtracted what? 4 from that x, and we got 1. So we did 1 by sum, which is 0. Okay, and then we try to find that. Okay. Yeah, that's the problem. So the x that we have left, okay, maybe we can do the same thing once more, and this time we can only increase the round by 1, I think. I'm sorry, what was I doing here? We subtracted the biggest record. Maybe we can just do it once more, then it will be fine. This time we will just increase the rounds by 1 and decrease this by some. Yeah, everything looks fine. I'm not sure this will work, but we don't have much time left, so we have to submit. This might be wrong. I don't think we will have to do it more than once. Like it's highly unlikely that we will have to do it more than once. No, it's likely that we might have. No. We won't have to do it more than once, because like Frankenstein's test 1. What the hell? How is it wrong on the first test case? I think I matched it with the oh, so this was 3, right? On the first test it was 3, right? 0, 6, 2, 1. So is this not correct? Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. I forgot to put a space here. Right. Okay. Oh, that's why my auto checker was not saying that this is correct. Okay, so we got accepted here. Okay, now let's read the chat. Okay, just a second. Okay, so wait a second. I think somebody was telling me the test case on which I would have failed. Focus on biggest record, take an example for while and then code. Yeah, I think I did almost that thing. Aditya Jain was spamming. I can't see it here. Okay, let me open the chat on the laptop itself. So if you guys have any questions, you can ask right now. I'm here for a little bit more time. Okay. I did by subtracting the biggest record and it worked. I think I also did almost that thing, but yeah. Okay. Okay, he needs to read chat. Well, maybe I should have read the chat. How many did you all solve? Yes, I just finished solving all the problems. I can say something like all problems have been solved. Did I miss a super chat? I'm really sorry if I missed the super chat. Oh, okay. Thanks a lot, Saksham Agarwal, for the super chat. And meetup plan कर लो college खुलने के बाद, which translates to let's meet after the college gets reopened. So where do you live? I live in like my college is in Varanasi, by the way. Have you seen the party or you mean? Yeah, I've seen that. So yeah, it's about like I've seen it. Like this is our car and these are our friends. Like these are us, something like this. I've seen the song by that. That's what I'm going to guy. Yeah. Mm, you really motivate beginners like me. Thank you. We need video for CP setup. Uh, that's same as seal. What is same as seal? Please tell me in B why did you have you taken move plus equal to difference? Yeah, like I'm counting the number of moves. So difference are the number of moves. DIFF is the difference. Okay. So how much time are you coding? Like I have been programming a little bit since I was in class 7th, I think. So I was 11 years old by then. But competitive programming I started in first year, which was 2 years ago. Actually, 2.5 years. So in October 2018, I think I started competitive programming. Yeah. Triple IT Allahabad. Yeah, Allahabad and Varanasi are close. So yeah, that will work. Okay, how many questions were you able to solve in Div 2 when you started on Codeforces? Okay, let's see. That's a good question. Let's check. So let's go to my profile for that. Wait a minute. Is my net not working? Am I offline? Maybe the Codeforces is slow and not like this is not a problem of my internet. Okay, let's see in the contest thing. Should I remove this from the streams tab? Because now the stream is actually over. Like I'm not solving the virtual participation. Like I'm not doing the virtual participation with explanation anymore. Maybe I should remove this from here. Anyway, so the first contest that I did was a combined round. It was Div 1 plus Div 2, in which I solved 3 problems. After that, in a Div 2 and a educational, I was able to solve 2 problems, and then 3 2 3 2. So usually I was able to do 3 2 3 2 3 2 3 2. I think I've never done only one problem. Yeah. Is there one here? Yeah. So I think I've always been able to do at least 2 problems in a contest. Yeah. Okay. So these are only the rated contests. Maybe in some unrated contests, I was able to do only one problem, but that's a different thing. Okay. Yeah. Let me go back to this screen. Okay. Right. How many hours do you spend doing CP one day? Yeah, now it's become really inconsistent. Earlier, it was like a good amount of time. I don't know exactly, but like in first year, I think it was at least 8 hours or something. How to overcome fear of coding? Like you can just keep participating in a lot of contests and so on. So eventually, it will go. I literally did seal. I'm not sure which part you're talking about when I did seal. Okay. How to move from expert to candidate master? You just have to keep practicing and solve a lot of problems. Eventually, you'll get there. Which college are you in? I'm in IIT BHU. Please don't spam this chat like this. Like I'm reading almost all messages. You don't have to send it like 5 times. Even twice is also a lot. Okay. Where have you done practice before moving to CF? Okay, yeah. So I did a little bit on Hacker Rank, but I won't recommend it to others. Like I have done it, but I won't recommend it to others. Are you wearing lipstick? No, I have this. I have this thing. I have this condition. It's called leukoderma. So maybe because of that you think, but I'm not wearing any lipstick. Okay. Mm, okay. I think I just answered this question. Where have you done practice before moving to CF? And I see this question again. Anyway. How to practice for topic specific questions, like any specific problem set for that? Mm, topic specific, I think CSES would be the best. CSES.fi for topic specific. For topic specific. Okay. Now, are you placed? No, I'm in third year right now. I can't be placed. I have an internship at Uber, but I'm not placed. Does IQ matter? I mean, yes, it's a good head start. Like it does 2 things. Like if you have a good IQ, it will help you get to a higher level quicker, and it will also help you get to a higher level in the end. Like if you have a low IQ, you kind of have a limit to how high you can get. Okay, but like if you want to get to a good level, and by good level, I would say at least purple or something, like if you want to get till around 2000 rating or something, you can do it with hard work alone. Like even if you don't have a very good IQ, you can still make it till that point. But after that, or like maybe if you want to get in the top of the world, like something a tourist or something, you need to have a very 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 high IQ after that. Like otherwise it is not possible according to me, right? Okay. This format of doing virtual contest, virtual after contest seems the best. Seems the best, but I can't keep missing contests like that, right? So I can't do it too many times. Uh, is is XYZ YouTubers SD sheet good? Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I've been told that it's very bad on the Codeforces blog. But I won't comment about other YouTubers. So I don't know. Like that's my answer. I don't know. Okay. Now let's see what else do we have here. But I can pop this out and put it like this. Okay. Okay. Will doing only CP is enough for placements? I don't think so, but for a lot of people it is. Like I'm not sure about this thing. I haven't been to placements till now. So, is this round unrated? I'm not. I think it's probably rated. It won't be unrated. There was no issue with the round. I don't see any question or anything. I don't see any announcement that it's unrated. Okay. I'm in tier 3 college, so I have no hope of getting good. I'm not sure about this. Like, please ask someone who knows these things. Hmm, IQ didn't matter. They started early and thus their brain developed for problem solving like tourists. Um, I don't think I agree with that because I know a lot of people start at around the same time, but some people do considerably better. So I would say, yeah, IQ does give you a good head start. And then if we talk about the upper limit, like the heights that the maximum height that you can reach, so I think like some natural talent is involved there. I'm not sure about that, but I believe that's the case. Like I have seen people who have been working hard at things for years, but they don't do too good. So yeah. By the way, where are you from, Bucksmith? Bro, where you placed if yes, then it's because of CP. Uh, I have an intern at Uber, and yes, it is because of CP. Are you into development? I'm not. Any books you would recommend or have read yourself? So I've only read one book. I'm gonna write the name of that book in the chat here. It's uh, Can You Keep a Secret by Sophie Kinsella. I liked it, but it's like a girly book, so I don't know if you like it or not. But it's like a girl book. Okay, okay. Mm, bro, uh, read Bohdan's suggestion on IQ. I'll do that someday. Okay. Best GNU compiler plus IDE editor package in Windows. I'm not sure which is best, but I use Sublime. Is Guide to Competitive Programming good for CP? Are you talking about that book, CSES.fi book? I think that is good. Like I only know one book that is CSES.fi/book. Others I'm not sure about. Can you suggest some effective approach? Can you please elaborate the question? How are IITs? Sorry, triple ITs. I'm not sure. I'm not in one of those. Is my stream lagging by the way? Okay, yeah, it's fine. I am from USA currently in school. Okay, are you Rick the Schooler or something? I'm not sure. Nah, you're probably someone else. Okay. When is the perfect time to start development? Yeah, I'll let you know when I start that. I haven't started it yet. I could solve all today except ENG because of time. I couldn't do CNG, couldn't see. What would you suggest? Like with more practice, you'll get faster, so that won't be a problem anymore. Name of CFID, my CFID, it's healthy aging. You can literally see this. You can literally see this stream, like rewind it to any point. You'll see my handle at least 10 times. Are you placed or still in college? I'm still in college. I'm in third year. I don't think I'm improving. I've been doing CP since last 1 year. Any tips? How much is your rating? Okay. How to create array of 10 to power 5? I'm pretty sure you can Google that. Daksh, nobody can answer that. Buck is my nickname. I use it as my first name. Are you on my Discord? I don't think I saw you there. Okay. Sublime editor contains MinGW, or do you need to install the GNU compiler separately? Yeah, you have to install it separately, the MinGW thing. Okay. You are highest rated coder in the college, isn't it? Yes, I am. Right now I am, but like earlier I wasn't, and in the future I probably won't be. But currently I am. Yes. Okay. Do you do rated contests in the same way as unrated contests? I don't. I never record or stream during rated contests. So yeah. Binay, even I don't know that, but I would like to know that. How many languages do you know? Do you mean competitive programming languages? Like, do you mean programming languages, or do you mean the languages like Hindi, English, etc.? Also, how long did it take you to get to red from the very start? It took, I think, 2 years and 1 month. Okay. I'm stagnant in CP for quite some time. Some effective approach to improve. Nice places to increase knowledge for CP, like I can't solve E of div 2 and mostly not even D. Okay. So I think you're already at a good level that you already can all C and a lot of time D. I think you just need to practice in the 1900 or 2000 difficulty range, maybe even in the 1800 range. If you practice a lot of questions in that range, you will be able to get better very soon. Okay. Um, what's your max GPA in college? Yeah, I really don't want to talk about that. Is that fine? Right. I mean programming languages. Okay, so I know C++, I know Java, I know a little bit Python, and a little bit C sharp, I think. And I think that's all. Maybe if you count HTML as a programming language, then I know that as well. Code Chef 5 star is equivalent to what rating a CF? Yeah, even I wonder that thing because like I used to be orange when I was Codeship 5 star, but I also know people who are specialists on Codeforces and are Codeship 5 star. So I don't know, like maybe there's a lot of cheating there or something like that. So like that is very skewed. I don't know. How good a CM on Codeforces is, your opinion? Like I would say it's pretty good. I mean, if you can make to that level, I would count it as a big achievement for most people. Rating demotivates me how to overcome it. Like it's easy, you can just not care about it. Like maybe after a few days, when you lose or gain rating too many times, you will get used to it. That okay, it keeps on going up and down. There's nothing new about that. Are you more into web dev or Android? I'm not into dev at all. Okay, I don't think I'm improving. Okay. Why you have changed your handle on CF? Yeah, okay, so the my previous handle that was demoralizer, which was basically a joke. It used to come out as too strong, like people used to think that I'm a very cocky person or something like that. So yeah, I didn't want that. What is your first priority? Is it CP or college studies? It is CP actually. Otherwise, I would have been studying for college right now. I actually have an assignment left right now, which I'm not doing, and I'm streaming this thing. So this is neither CP and nor my college thing. I'm just wasting time or something. Anyway, how good can AdCoder beginner contest be for beginners? It is actually very good for beginners. Like if you're a beginner, I would recommend you to always do AdCoder beginner contest. Tanmay asked, "Are you a cocky person? Do I look like a cocky person to you?" Anyway, so I am struggling in CP. Give me some tips. I think you should practice more. No, I know that sounds cooler. I agree, but yeah, I mean, when you grow up, it doesn't matter if you're that cool or not. Anyway. Mm. Okay, yeah, so Everrule thinks I'm cocky. Yeah, he might be right. I'm not sure. He's rarely wrong. Okay. Um, I'm doing questions in Java Hacker Rank. What should I do? What should I move on to? Like, I think I would recommend you to switch to C++ because that will be advantageous to you. And I would recommend you to move to Codeforces. Yeah, those are the three. Those are the two things that I recommend to you. Do you think being good at JE level maths helped a lot in CP? Not a lot in CP, but yes, it did help a little. Yeah, it helped. Yeah, I solved only one question on CodeChef first time, but how I got 2 stars. I'm not sure. 2 stars is I think nothing on Codeforces. Why did you choose healthy UG as your username? Uh, it's related to that like there's this show called Rick and Morty that there was this character Healthy Morty. It was something related to that. Like a lot of things, some internal jokes also. Anyway, bro, give only one tip to be good at CP other than practice. Um, one good tip to be good at CP other than practice? I would say participate in contests regularly. Okay. Passing year, next year I'll pass out. I'll pass out from the college. I'll graduate from the college next year. I'm in third year right now. Codeforces now looks like GitHub. Let me see. No, it doesn't. What are you talking about? Wait a minute. On the profile page? Ah, right. Okay. It's the heat map, right? Okay, so let me show you guys my heat map. Okay. This is my heat map. And I think the darker dots mean that I submitted a lot of problems that day. I made a lot of submissions that day. And the lighter green rectangles mean that I submitted a few things that day, and this gray means I did nothing. Yeah, okay. What activity will be shown to others? Only public, all? Yeah, I don't really understand what this thing is about, but yeah, so this new thing just got added to Codeforces, and there's a post by Jaron Azwar 555. Right. Okay, so there are some stats that I solved 94 problems in the last month, and 6 days in a row for last month, maybe something like that. I solved 919 problems in the last year, and 1549 problems in total, and I have a streak of 40 days. Okay. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Okay. I'm pretty sure I missed a lot of chat messages. Codeforces GitHub. I was on the message where something about Codeforces GitHub was written. Okay. When is your Sublime text setup videos coming? It was coming when it was supposed to come at 5,000 subscribers actually, and right now I think I have 7,000 subscribers. So yeah, I don't know what to say about that. Okay, yeah, but I promise that I'll post it when I have 5,000 subscribers. Okay. The coding roadmap. I don't like people who ask for roadmaps, so sorry. Okay. Please do the small short video of giving ideas of good question and more. Yeah, I really want to do that. I started that thing, CP shorts. Okay. What do you want to do after BTech? I'm not sure. Maybe something related, like probably something related to coding. If I'm lucky, something related to competitive programming as well. Although there's not much money in it, so I'm not sure. There are so many messages. Learn DSA from where? Not sure. You can take CP algorithms or Geeks for Geeks or something like that. I don't recommend Geeks for Geeks in general. It's not very good, but still. Did you participate in ICPC this year? This year ICPC hasn't happened yet, or did it happen and I didn't know about it? Should I text my teammate if we missed the ICPC? Okay. Yeah, I think it hasn't happened. Mod pupper is the reason of being red. It probably is. Yeah, yeah. So you see, I started. Wait a minute. I started liking puppies when I was like back in 2019 or something, and since then I have shown considerable improvement in competitive programming. Yeah, that might be a thing. Although smart pupper is the most soul animal. I wish, but it probably isn't. My soul animal is probably something really lame. But anyway, how did you solve 1549 problems? That is huge. I'm not sure. Let's see. 1549 divided by 700 something is just 2 point something, right? So if you solve 2 problems per day, you'll be able to do that in 2 years, I think. So that's not much. Any sports you're interested in? I'm not. I'm not. Unless you count computer programming as a sport, which I think you should, but I'm not sure. Okay. Mm, have you done any internship till now? Yes, I did one in first year, but yeah, I don't want to talk about it. You don't upload ABC contest editorial or screencast. Okay, I'll try that. I've done that once or twice, maybe, but not much. Which question should one practice, algorithmic or constructive? I think you should practice randomly without any tags or without any knowledge about the question, so that the part of the mind which works to figure out what the question is about works good enough. Right? So if you already know that this problem is about dynamic programming or it's about constructive algorithm or anything like that, then you will be biased in a certain way and you are not practicing for the actual thing, right? So you don't want to do that. Okay. Ever had a cup of tea coffee with Jagdish Gandhi? Oh, wow. No, I have listened to a lot of his speeches though. Jagdish Gandhi was the founder manager of my school and he used to give a lot of long speeches. So yeah, that's what this was about. Usually people found it really boring and funny. Boring and funny at the same time. Yeah, am I right, Anubhav? They were boring and funny at the same time. Okay. Do you practice on exam day also? No, I don't think so. I think I stop CP usually for the week when we have the exams. But I did a contest once in second year, I think, even on the exam day. But I usually don't. Which year are you in? I'm in third year. Awesome. Thanks for replying all answers. You saw the recording about Mobius inversion and you thought the energy was less. Yeah, it was because very few people were attending the class and they were not able to answer the questions I was asking. So, like, I wasn't that enthusiastic at that time. Like, any teacher or any lecturer or anything, that person is really excited when the people are answering quickly and he's just posing questions and questions the people are answering. So that was not happening in that lecture. Maybe it got too difficult for the most people. Yeah, so that's why even I wasn't that enthusiastic while teaching them. Okay. Make some short videos on some important algorithms as your major followers are beginners in CP. Yeah, I was thinking about that myself. Is it good to give all contests, just skip some and devote time in learning and brushing up concepts? It is good to give all contests, take all contests in fact, if you go by the correct grammar. It was not boring. I went directly to his office for admission. Okay, I think you're lucky or something. Are you living in hostel? No, this is my room. Do you think? Look over there. That's an air conditioner. Do you think IIT hostels give us air conditioners? Maybe in some IIT, definitely not in my IIT. Okay, so yeah. So I think that's a very strange question. Why would you even ask that? Okay. How do you solve questions and in which way? Wow. Okay, so one of my weakness is that I don't upsolve much, but I should. So yeah, I don't upsolve much, but like I would advise anyone to upsolve at least. Like I would advise you to upsolve at least one problem from the contest. Like, let's say you are able to solve till D, then I would say you should try to upsolve E, unless it is too hard for you. Okay. Considering campus placement, are projects really important because I'm liking CP a lot? So it actually depends a lot on your college as well. So it depends whether in your college it is dependent upon CP or projects or whatever. So it depends a lot on your college. So you should ask your seniors, the people in your college who got good placements or something like that. A lot of people get stuck before candidate master mark. Do you think it's good? People don't know a lot of topics. So it's just practicing speed. Actually, one thing is that when you are near a certain breakthrough in the last contest that could get you to that thing, like let's say you are 4 points away from candidate master, so then you have a very good chance of messing up that contest, and it's usually because of anxiety. So that's the reason why people get stuck a lot before the marks where the rating increases. Yeah, so that's one thing. Will you stream from hostel with your roommate? Yeah, I don't think we have to worry about that till 4 or 5 more months. After that, I'll see. Next lecture and academy पे कब है? Tomorrow. Any thought for 5 people who dislike this stream? Have 5 people dislike this stream? Okay. Not sure. Maybe they wanted something else and I couldn't deliver that. So yeah. So I think dislikes are helpful because like especially if they're honest. Like only if they're honest. So if the likes and dislikes are honest, then they are helpful because like if there are honest likes and dislikes, then I can understand whether a certain video was liked by the people or not, or certain video stream. So it helps me. Like I actually see the number of likes, I see the like percentage and things like that. It helps me improve the channel. Fab TV series, I would say Friends. Yeah, I think Friends is my favorite. Or I would say Friends and Rick and Morty. Like yeah, Friends and Rick and Morty both. Okay. Which MNC are you targeting in upcoming placement season? I'm not targeting any company. I have an internet Uber. I'm hoping that I can get a PPO from there, and that will be the best for me. Mm, so you seem to believe that Codeforces is better than CodeChef is better than Codeforces in starting. You think CodeChef is better than Codeforces? Yeah, I disagree. Okay. I feel that CC is worse. Yeah. So yeah, our rule is usually right. Are you from IIT BHU? Yes, I am, and I'm in third year. How do you manage CP in hostel? So my friend circle is also a CP circle kind of thing. So that's why it's not a big issue. Like like one of my like like most of my friends do CP themselves as well, and they are at a good level. So that wasn't a problem. Can beginners also watch the number theory course? Yes, you can watch the number theory course by me even if you're a beginner, but you will have to start from the first lecture. Okay, so the first lecture was about the basic maths, it was for beginners, and then the level keeps on increasing little by little. So you have to watch all of the lectures. You cannot skip the lectures if you're a beginner. If you're not a beginner, then you can start from the middle. Okay. Imagine starting CP and problem A is implementing sec3. Wow, yeah, yeah, that will be a big demotivation, I think. But I think that can happen if you're doing a Division One contest. I'm not sure. Like usually in Division One, also the first problem is not segmentary. How to find time complexity of our code? Oh, that's too basic. I think you should read some book about it or something. When will IITs reopen? I think IIT Guwahati has announced that it will reopen soon. I don't know much about other colleges. So, are you a day scholar? What do you mean by a day scholar? Hmm. Okay. No, I mean I do live in a hostel, but right now due to COVID-19, etc., I cannot go to my like I cannot live in the hostel. So I'm at home right now. So college is online right now. Anyway, are there any DSLGO concept that you don't know now but might learn in future? Yeah, so there are a few things I would say. There are a lot of things in geometry. In geometry, there are a lot of things that I don't know anything about. Then there's this thing called um, some DP optimization, like the NUT optimization and the that thing, divide and conquer optimization. So yeah, I don't know about those things, but I'll learn them someday. Okay. Why watching your videos make me feel that question are so easy? It's all my fault that I can't solve. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if that happens. I don't make my videos because of that. It's just that I have done a lot of practice, so they're easy for me. And there are some things that you cannot see right now, but if you practice more, you'll be able to do it. You are a fresher at IIT. Okay. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. Anyway, did you prepare DSS separately for interview at Uber or any other company? Yeah, what kind of work do you do at Uber using CP? I haven't started the internet Uber till now. Like it will start this summer. How to make the best out of solving questions I wasn't able to solve during live contests. I think you should solve around one or two more problems than the number of problems you were able to solve. Testing algorithms like wrapping carp, KMP necessary for CP interviews, for CP or interviews. So for CP, they are definitely necessary. For interviews, I think there was one problem in Goldman Sachs interview that was asked, and it was basically about using the Z algorithm, which is very similar to the KMP algorithm. So yes, it might be necessary. Even string hashing might be necessary. Rabin carp is basically string hashing. So yes, these two things are necessary in both. Link a tree, fully retroactive priority queue. Yeah, I don't know any about these things, but then I don't think I'll learn them anytime soon. Except for link a tree, maybe I really want to learn link a tree, but I don't understand it much. I know it does something with the state tree, but I don't know what it does exactly. It stores chains or something, but I'm not sure what it does. I have to study about that. Need to study core CS subjects like OS, OOPS, CN, etc. Not much. Like I had one or two of those subjects in my college, but I didn't pay attention to those much. Kosaraji or Tarjan, when I solved it on my own without knowing any of these algorithms, I kind of reinvented Tarjan, but I think Kosaraji is better. It is easier. So now I use Kosaraji. But for the first time when I did the strongly related component thing, and I did using Tarjan algorithm, I had kind of invented it like that. Is it run CS? Yes, it's computer science. How do you approach hard code stuff long challenges? Means last two, three question of div one. So what I do is like I read the problem, and if I'm able to do it, I do it. Otherwise, I skip it. Like I don't waste much time on it. Okay. So like in June, I was able to solve all the problems. So in that, luckily, when I read the problem, when I read the last problem, I was able to solve it in like 2 seconds. Like it was just luck. I had read a book at that time, and like the problem was very much related to the stuff that was in that book, so I was able to solve it. Which topics are required for div A and div B problem? Which div? Okay. How to manage interview prep, DSA and CP together? I'm not sure. I never did it, so I'm not sure. Which book? It was the book that was given in that blog by ZS Coder. You remember there was a blog by ZS Coder about generating functions. So the book was named Generating Functionology. I'm going to write that in the chat. It is Generating Functionology. But it is a very advanced book. Like most of the people don't have to worry about it. It is a very advanced book. Right. So that was the book that I had read. Advantages of Kosaraju over Tarjan. It's easier. Problem set solving. Like, oh, so you want me to do the topic streams? Yes, I tried to do one, but it didn't go very well, and I had to sing at the end. That's why I don't want to do another. Which keyboard do you use? Sound is good. That's not the keyboard sound. I have an emulator that makes the keyboard sounds. But if you want to know which keyboard makes this sound, it is actually, wait a minute, I'll tell you. This keyboard is actually Cherry MX Blue PBT caps. PBT keypad, sorry, PBT keycaps and Cherry MX Blue. So if you buy that keyboard, you'll get the same sound. This time Division 3 was harder, or is it just me feeling like this? I can't really compare. I don't remember the last three. You can use Mac Vibes. I know I use Mac Vibes. So Mac Vibes is the exact software that I'm using for the keystroke sounds. Div 2 A and B. Yeah, so there's nothing special, no algorithm or anything like that involved in those. You just have to practice for those. From where to learn algorithms in C. sequence as you tell them with name. I don't know the specific name of any algorithm. Where can I get algorithm with specific sequence? You can go to that website called cpalgorithms.com, in which there are a lot of algorithms, so you can learn whichever seems easy to you, and soon you'll start understanding which is important and which is not important. Right? Okay. Is it correct that tier one college students like IITs can back good placement using CP only? Hmm, I'm not sure. Like I can tell you after my fourth year maybe. So I have to learn new topics after master A and B problems or some simultaneously. You can do either. I would like I personally did. I personally mastered A and B first before learning advanced algorithms. But I can't say if that would be the same for you as well. Like it would help work for you as well. I can't promise that, but that's what I did. Okay. No, I don't think our rule is coming there, but another educator is coming there. His name is Taranpreet Singh. Maybe you know him. His Codeforces ID was Taran 1407. Yeah, so he's also going to teach there. Okay. Mm, wow. I think that's a nice technique, Abhishek. Let us know if that works after a few days. Okay. Mm, what kind of CF level problems you faced in an Uber interview? So actually, I've done a video about my Uber interview experience. You can find that in my channel, and yeah, so you can watch that and understand like whatever difficulty that is. You can judge it on your own. Okay, David Hadmayer. Okay, second thread. Yeah, second thread is a pretty good CP tuber actually. Maybe I was inspired by him when I made this channel. I think most of my decisions were inspired by him regarding my YouTube channel. Do you think not everyone can code? Um, do I think not everyone can code? So I don't think that not everyone can code, but when I see the people around me, it seems like not everyone can code. So I'm not sure which to believe. Mostly I think like I've seen people who can't code, but I seem to think that like I usually think that they're just not trying hard enough. Okay. In what college are you? I'm in ITBHU. You can see that in my profile also in the Codeforces profile. Okay. Mm, okay. How were my initial CP days? Okay. So yeah, that's what people are plus oneing to. I saw somebody is plus oneing, but I didn't know what they are plus oneing to. So how were your initial CP days? Okay. So this is interesting. So initially, I used to do competitive programming on the. Uh, just a second. Just a second. Wait a second. Okay, so I'm back, guys. Just a second. Okay, yeah. Hello, Tarun. How much IIT matters? I'm not able to figure that out by now, but I'm not sure. You studied in Kota? Yes, I studied in Kota. I studied in LN Kota. Um, Yes, you can get into IIT through GATE, but I wouldn't recommend that. Yeah, that waiting screen is necessary, I think, because a lot of time, like earlier, I used to just turn off the display capture or my camera or something, and people used to think that, hey, oh, it's wrong, like, sorry, like it got glitchy or laggy or something like that. But it's not that. I intentionally turn it off, so that's why I have the waiting screen. Right. You didn't answer the initial CP days question. Yeah. So my initial CP days, actually, I didn't have a laptop when I was in college. Like I didn't buy a laptop. So I used to code on my phone. I had this compiler name. I think it's named Online Compiler, and I used to write the code on my phone in Java actually for a lot of days till the share, I think, till the share, till the starting of the college. A few weeks after the starting of the college, I began doing CP on my phone, and like I used to sit on the stairs of the hostels. Of the hostel, I used to sit near the stairs and keep coding on the phone. So people used to think that I'm chatting on some app with some person, like with some girl probably, because I'm so much invested into that. And sometimes they used to peek and see that, oh, I'm coding. So yeah, they used to think I'm crazy or something like that. But anyway, then when I bought a laptop, I solved a lot of questions, and I think so. Initially, I never participated in any contest. I only used to practice because I didn't know that contest exists. So that contest existed. So basically, I just used to solve a lot of problems, and I thought that's what competitive programming is about. I didn't know about the contest. So one day I found a contest that was happening. I saw the sidebar on Codeforces. I saw that there are contests, and I participated in the contest. I got plus 76, by the way, and plus 76 rating in that contest. And I didn't know that it's a big thing, so I thought, okay, I thought three problems out of six. I thought, okay, maybe it's a fair enough performance or something like that. So and that was the time when holidays were going on. So when I came back to college, then some people started talking about there's a guy named Utkarsh Gupta. He was able to solve three problems in the first contest. So that's when I understood that, oh, that's a very big deal. Like I thought maybe most people are able to solve three problems in their first contest. But when I realized that this is becoming such a big gossip or a big deal or anything like that, so then I realized, okay, yeah, maybe I'm good at this thing. Um, J advanced rank, it was 609. Yeah, and by the way, within 1 month of my starting, yeah, but regex, I solved three problems in my first contest. But the thing is, before doing my first contest, I had already practiced around 160 or I think 200 problems. I had already practiced. And the contest which I did for the first time, it was the Male RU Cup combined round. So in that, the problems weren't that difficult. If you go and see that contest, you'll find that it was not that difficult. Anyway, I just saw you saying sorry to a freshman of IIT. I'm a sophomore at IIT and we also said the same. I'm saying sorry. Oh, okay. Yeah. I obviously say sorry to them, like, but I think the IIT people are just being humble, saying sorry. Like I'm being honest here that you're a IIT fresher and made a very wrong choice or something like that. Like despite having such a nice rank, you chose this. So yeah, that's the thing. How was your ICPC journey? Yeah, like there's nothing valuable to say here because I've done ICPC only once, and that year I wasn't the MVP of my team. I was actually like a dead weight that was being carried around by my teammate who was much better than me. So it was basically his experience, and I went there on a free ticket or something like that. Okay. Come someday to Birla Hostel. Yeah, I'd rather not, but thank you for the invite. Code in C language is in first contest. Yeah, I didn't know C++ earlier. I had coded in Java on Hacker Rank. After that, I switched to C and started coding in this Codeforces. Right. Topic stream one more, please. I'll try. From where to learn graphs? Any suggestion? Video tutorial or reading content? You can try my lectures. I'll put that in also in the link. Mm, okay. Uh, I'll put the link in the description. You can try my lectures. Okay. So my lectures on graph theory are in the link in the description. The link is in the description. You can try that if you're interested. Okay. From where to learn graphs? Okay, that's done. Graphs is always given on the other side. We feel the same way about Bombay. No. So okay. Fair, maybe. But you see, sometimes the grass is actually very yellow or black or something like that. So that's what that is. Thus, do you play chess? I used to play chess, but I wasn't good at it at all. So yeah, your best kickstart performance. I think I got 23rd rank in kickstart round D 2020. So kickstart round D 2020, I got 23rd rank. That was my best, I think. Um, what's your CF handle? It's healthy UG. You can go to Codeforces right now. My stream is running there, so you can see that from there. Do you spend time in development side even or only CP? Only CP. Okay. How to improve typing speed? I am really very slow. So I am also very slow. I do a lot of typing tests. I try to do better every day, and I think that's what you can also do. I would never stop typing if that keyboard sound is real, and I had that keyboard. Yeah. So yeah, I also feel a little bit that way about that thing. So I actually wanted to buy a keyboard, exactly that keyboard, Cherry MX Blue PBT caps. But the problem is, if I buy a keyboard, I don't have anywhere to keep that keyboard because I also have this drawing pad. So I use this to draw with this pen, and it takes up a lot of space on the table. So if I have a keyboard, I won't have anywhere to keep that thing. Okay. Why IIT Bombay CSC students can beat you in CP? I think because they're smarter or something. Okay. Doc source for DP, I'm not sure. Please form playlist of your videos. Okay, I'll consider that. Your favorite subject from current semester? Favorite subject. Okay. I think there's one subject called Theory of Computation. I like it. I like it a bit. Like I haven't studied it much till now, but I like it a bit. There are some there are things about automatons and things like that, languages, regular expressions, etc. So I like it. What is your ICPC teammate CF handle? Um, yeah, let's leave that. Okay. How to hire up rating? What's your CGPA? Yeah, I can't talk about my CGPA. It's not very good. How to manage CP and semester study? If you ask, like, oh no, that is the team name. That is not the teammates handle. That's the team name for my certificate. Okay. When will you become LGM in Codeforces? Any guesses? Um, I don't know. Maybe tonight in a dream. Okay. Which year did you start CP? 2019, 2018 actually. I started in 2018. What was your team name in last ICPC and ranks in online and on-site contest, and which sites you went? I went to Amritapuri. Online rank was I think around 39 and the rank in Amritapuri was 25th. Next aim in CP, maybe getting till IGM or ICPC World Final. Yeah, so these two things, getting till IGM and ICPC World Final. Do they treat you like a celebrity in your college? Not till March 2020, but after that college has been closed, so I don't know about that anymore. But yeah, they didn't treat me like a celebrity at all. They didn't treat me like a person at all. So celebrity, forget it. I will also become LGM tonight by editing HTML site. Yeah, that's a cool trick. I think I taught that trick to you. When will you give rated contest for you? Whichever the next contest is, if I'm free, I'll do that. Okay. I am in seventh and started programming in sixth sem, and I'll too late for starting CP. So never is too late. You can still get to a good level. But seventh sem, uh, how are you in seventh sem? I think I'm in sixth sem. Am I in seventh sem or fifth sem or which sem am I in? Can anybody tell me which semester I'm in right now? Sixth, yeah, yeah, I'm in sixth semester. Yeah, I got confused. Okay. What is your strategy in a normal team contest like ICPC mirror? Okay, so what we do is we usually, at least till the first 1 or 2 hours, at least around till 2 hours, we distribute the problems. Like we don't waste two brains on a single problem. So what we do is we say that, okay, you read problem A, I'll read J, you read C or something like that. And then we try to solve the problem separately on our own. And uh, when only a few problems are left, we try to discuss it among ourselves. Like if one person is solving, let's say one person is solving M, so other two people are free, so they can discuss some problem. And in the last, if only 1 or 2 problems are left, then they can kind of um, like everyone can focus on the same problem. Right? But do you remain so calm during contests from beginning, or you have developed it over time? I became too worried during contest. So I don't really understand what people mean by too worried. So if somebody can describe what too worried means, then I will be able to answer this problem, answer this question more clearly. Yeah, I'm in fourth sem. Do you recommend CP? Like if you like it, you should do it. What is the best strategy to practice problems at Codeforces? I usually turn off the problem tags and pick from a difficulty. Did you read Introduction to Algorithm CLRS? CLRS? No, I haven't. Oh, so your heart beats faster during a contest? That used to happen to me only when like submitting a hard problem and the code is like very long, or it is very difficult according to me, and I'm worried, like I'm anxious whether it will run or not. So it used to happen only then, but like not in general. I'm not like that in general. So when I do the FFT class, I'll explain or some February learn challenge. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Okay. Whenever I do FFT class, like I do a problem solving on FFT, then yes, sure. Motivation to solve and practice and brain so much teasing problems, like you need patience and too much determination. What is the highest CTC IIT BHU? I don't think we're allowed to reveal that, and I don't even think if I know that exactly. Did you read CP handbook? Yes, I read that. You're talking about the CSCS.fi slash book, right? I have read that. Yes. Mm, okay. Can we get a call from Google if we perform well in Kickstart? I have heard about people who perform well in Kickstart and got a call from Google. I am not one of them, but I have heard it happens to people. FFT, I'll teach a long time later, I think. First, I will do this matrix and then probability, then polynomials, and then FFT maybe. Do you watch anime? And if yes, any favorites? I don't watch anime in general, but my favorites would be, I think, Death Note and Dragon Ball Z. So Dragon Ball Z I used to watch when I was a kid. Then when I grew up, I watched the entire thing. I also watched the Super. Okay. Do you use templates in CP? I do. FFT and NTT class. Yeah, a long time later, maybe 3 weeks later, or something. Do you spend time on college courses for your CGPA? Do I spend time on college courses for my CGPA? Not much. Like very less time. Have you watched or do you know about One Piece? I know about One Piece, but I'll definitely not watch it. It's so long. I cannot commit that much time to that. Love you too, Sherlock. Mm, you can see sleep in my eyes. Wow. Mm, yeah, maybe you're right. What's your J main score? Um, I think it was 268 out of 360. Yeah. Did preparing for JEE help you in CP? A very little, like not much, but very little, like especially regarding the math problems that require combinatorics or probability. So in those problems, a little, but in general, no. Okay. How to stay awake in night? Aren't you doing that already? Got a CPGF? No, that's only for experts. So I'm not an expert. You should read the blog by Essence on Codeforces. Okay. How? Uh, okay. I have solved 250 plus question at Codeforces, but still a newbie. What should I do? Mm, I'm not sure. 250 are not a lot. Maybe I should solve a few more. CSE is half math. I'm not sure. I don't agree. What's literally a number on a website? You are GM, not expert. You should have one. No, no, no. Actually, if you are above expert, you cannot get it. So that's what the blog says. Mm, I am trying a lot, but not improving. Absolve a lot, but still not improve. Please help. Mm, I'm not sure what you can do in such a case. Like, I've never been in any situation like that. Do you know any girl red coder? In personal life, no. I know about a few on the internet, but in personal life, I don't know any. Mm. On the internet, I know there's one named Demigo and a few more. Okay. There are female LGMs. Can you name one? I'm not sure about that. Like I haven't heard about any one of those. Where are you currently working? I'm currently a student. I'm not working anywhere. How to keep same pace for each question and contest? Yeah, just do a lot of contests. You'll soon get into that. How to get into towers research? I'm not. I don't know about that. I'm not into towers. Like I haven't gotten into tower research, so I don't know how to do. I love Tanya Romanova. He's a guy. He loves Tanya Romanova, and Tanya Romanova is the girl. You know Eric Tortoris personally? No. In which year? Third year. C++ is good for game development. I don't think so. Do you do any development? I don't. Which tags of CF are important with the view of college intern test? I think I would say graph and DP. Okay. Are you Hitman fan? I was before he retired. Yeah. What's the plan today? Stream off when below 100 viewers? No, I'll turn it off anyway soon. Any ACM ICBC achievements? Yeah, I won a cup. You can see in the community tab of my channel. Have you in contact with Ashish Gup? I have talked to him a few times on the Codeforces messaging and also on my Discord. Okay. Okay. Any favorite actor or actresses? Wow. I think I would say. In actor, I would say maybe I would say Johnny Depp. I think. Mm, actresses, yeah, I'm not sure. Okay. How are you so humble? I think Everrule disagrees. Everrule just said I'm cocky, like maybe 1 hour ago. Okay. How to manage academics along with CP? How to manage academics along with CP? Yeah, I'm not. I don't know. I ignore academics, so I don't manage them well. Any music recommendations? Yeah, this one's nice. So, what kind of music are you into? Just tell me the genre, and I'll try to recommend something. Okay, you're still here. Yeah, I'm still here. Yeah, I could have stopped a long time ago. Have you covered multinomial in PC classes? I don't know. I don't know what you mean by that. Basically, all of the actresses. No, 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 no. I can just think of one particular actor that is my favorite. Maybe I would go with. Um, I'm really not sure about that. I, I don't know. Maybe Scarlett Johansson. Um, I'm not sure. Okay. You are in which college? IIT. That's not happening. The tourist. Why would I watch other YouTubers? Like I do watch other YouTubers, but I only watch good YouTubers like Eric To, Second Thread, sometimes Galen Collin, and once Ashish Gupta. Okay, a square OJ is old now. Yeah, I think I can agree. How to do JE and CF together? Yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea. Yesterday's stream ending was hilarious. I agree. You said you don't do development, but working in company it is essential. I guess. What are your views on it? So whatever development they want, they will teach me in the company. So then I think that will be fine. Apart from your obvious CP prowess, what other things did you mention in your CV? So my CV was kind of empty. It only had the CP things in it. So yeah, there were almost no other things there. Any death metal or trash metal recommendations? I don't really listen to death metal. Yeah, it's too heavy even for me. Okay. When will Clement Mihail who take your interview? I don't think he will. I think he takes interviews of only very high-rated coders. Sorry, sorry. Only people with a lot of subscribers. So, like he did one with William Lynn, I think. So, I don't think I'll ever reach that many subscribers. So, no chance. When did you party last time? So, this is my room. This is me, and यहाँ पार्टी हो रही है. Okay. Okay, sorry. Okay. When you started with CP 2018 October, Clement take a interview with an Indian girl. Oh, I haven't seen that one. Is lack of projects in a CV a disadvantage? It probably is. Your current ranking in India, I think it's 12th right now, probably. Is competitive coding necessary to get interview call from product-based companies? I don't know about that. Please don't spam the chat. Good night to you too. Okay, so we will. I think I have answered a lot of. Uh, yeah, your views on NM. Yeah, I think he's very very intelligent. Like he managed to get to IGM in such a short amount of time. Like in just 1 year and in just 1.3 years or something, he managed to get till IGM. I think he's very very smart. That's what would say about him. Striver 79. I know that he's a YouTuber, but I have never seen any of his video. What the rank of Ashish Group in India? You can go check the list yourself. I'm not sure. Okay. Barca or PSG today? I don't watch football. I think I said earlier that I don't. Hmm. But do you guys think NM is someone's alt? No, NM is actually Nishchay Manwani. He's a guy in IT Guwahati. He's of my age, by the way. He's in third year right now. Yeah, so yeah, he is a good coder. He's not anyone's alt. He's a legit account, and he's the main account. NM is your alt. Okay, so actually NM is Nishuz's alt. Balbit is not Indian. Yeah, that's true. Balbit is not Indian. He's Taiwanese, I think. I'm not sure which country he's from. I think somebody here can tell us. I forgot, but he's not Indian. Right. I removed that because yeah, it was like a joke, but people started taking it seriously, so I removed that. I removed that. Okay. I'm not interested in any of the sports, so there's no favorite sport for me. Right. Oh, so Balbit is actually from Collins School. Okay, so he's from US. Okay. Mm, like I don't watch anime a lot, but there's one show that I'm seeing right now. There's this show called Horimiya. It's based on manga. Like it's a girly anime. So I'm into that kind of stuff. Anyway, you can change the ID on your YouTube to. Is it possible? Yeah, I'll change it soon. But the problem is like if I change it, I'll start losing viewers because they know. Like I get a lot of traffic from the search results when people search demoralizer or something like that. So if I change my channel name, maybe I'll lose a lot of viewers. So what I want to do is I want to wait for some time so that at least 80% of my viewers know that I have changed my handle, so that when I change my channel name, I don't lose viewers. So that's what I want to do. Ad coder anytime in the future? Yeah, I'll try. Usually, I am not able to do ad coder because it happens at around 5:30 p.m. in India, and I am teaching classes an academy at around 5 p.m. So that's why it clashes. How to change CF handle? CC handle cannot be changed. CF handle gets changed once a year during the new year. Upload an academy content on YT. It's not possible. Like they won't allow me to do that. Okay, your song playlist. It's usually like I usually just go to the. I have Amazon Music for music, and I go to the most played or the most played in the last 1 year or something like the hottest right now, something like that. I go to that playlist and I just hit the random shuffle button. Okay. So that's what I do. Eric, tourist in what regard? I mean, probably tourist. I don't know what question you're asking. Who do you think is the best CPR of India, including you? I think I would say Rahul Dugar, Amnesiac Dusk. Yeah, I'll say Rahul Dugar. Like maybe NM could beat him. Also, there's Everrule, which is Aditya Jain on this chat. So there's Everrule, who is also present in this chat by the name Aditya Jain. Maybe in 1 year or something, he'll he'll be the top in India. By the way, he's in school right now. He's 17 years old and he's red on Codeforces. Like he has been red on Codeforces. Cerberus is very nice, but I think the other name that I took were a little better. Yes, Chandnani. Yeah, he's also very good. But the thing is, like the names I took, Everrule or Nishchay or Amnesiac, these people are much younger than Yes Chandnani. So I think by the time they reach that age, they'll be much better. That's it. I don't know if he quit or not. Mm, What are your hobbies except from partying? Oh, above this, I see a good question. YouTube income till now. Yeah, so we can reveal that, I think. I can tell you one thing, it's not much. Okay. So it's almost nothing. I would like as compared to how many videos I make, etc. This is almost nothing. Okay. Rahul Dugar is not younger than me. He's 1 year older than me. Okay. What are your hobbies except from partying? Mm, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think Kshitij Sodani is also very young and at a very good level. I don't know him personally. I've talked to Everrule a lot of times, so that's fine. Yeah, and I think 1 a.m. is fine. Last year it was 2 a.m. or something. T1 UDS, yeah, Udit Sanghi. Actually, he's been at CP for a long time, and he did make it to red. But Everrule has done it in less than 1 year. So Everrule got to red from zero in less than 1 year. That's a very big thing. Where did you intern in third year? I'm in third year right now, and I will intern at Uber. Because I think I've answered a lot of questions on the chat. So what I'm going to do now is hmm, maybe I'll solve a few problems, and when I get tired of that, I'll just end the stream. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to solve this problem now. Uh, okay. This is actually a 2300 difficulty problem which I'm solving these days. And this is called Graph Traveler. I am seeing it for the first time. I'm going to solve this. I'm hoping that people get bored by this and my concurrent go below 100 so I can stop the stream. But anyway, okay. So it's 128 right now. Everrule. Okay, so I think it should be pronounced Everrule, not Everrule. Yeah. By the way, I would like to talk about one thing that, like, if we go to my channel, like, if we go to the first stream that I ever did, this was the first stream that I had ever done. Okay. Yeah, so if you see the reason here, if you see the picture quality and everything, you'll see how much my streams have changed till now. This is only till 480p, and you can see how bad this looks. Oh, so it's an ad. Anyway. So yeah, so like not only is the number of views or subscribers increasing on my channel, like I'm also improving the equipment. Yeah. Do your college have 75% attendance rule, or do you college regularly? Okay, I haven't read the problem till now. Are you able to solve it already? Do you contribute to open source? I do not. I think we went to. I think we went. Do you do workout to be energetic at all times? Do I look like I work out? See my. So this is my arm, by the way. Anyway, I think our concurrents. Uh, I think our concurrents went below 100. I can see this is around 96. So finally, we can end this stream here. And thank you for watching, everyone. Why do I see? Oh, yeah. So we have 97 right now, so we can end it now.